Oh, bullies can be everywhere. At school, at work, among friends, even family. But Kirk and Ken Duncan here today, they say the worst of the bullies could be inside your very own head. This is interesting. Let's define bully first. What are we talking about?
Well, I think we look on the outside what a bully does. You know, they pester another person. They say mean things. They cause damage. They cause hurt. And so that's an outside bully. You know, somebody like if you go to school or you go to work or something like that, you run into this bully and you try to avoid them, but you try to get away from them as much as possible because they're causing problems in your life. Well, an inside bully is literally a conversation or a series of, talking or sentences that literally you're doing it to yourself, or somebody else's voice is inside your head bullying
and it's stuck there.
And it's stuck
I've
there.
had that happen before too. And what's so interesting is that when you're on a playground, you eventually outgrow those bullies, but the inner bully, no one's immune.
Yeah,
right.
They're not.
No one's there with you all the time.
All the time.
You wake up with it. It's with you all day long. You can't run away from it, and it's inside your head.
Do you mean experiences or phrases that you've heard or you're saying to yourself?
Yes and yes. It all adds up. And what the problem is people don't recognize that they do have a bully inside their head, and they don't realize what it's doing to them. You start to lose confidence, lose belief in yourself. You don't take risks. You don't go for it because that bully in your head is just tearing you apart.
Can the bully in your head also impact relationships?
Absolutely.
In a marriage?
Yes.
If Kim has a bully inside her head, sooner or later she's gonna act that out at me. Or if I have a bully inside my head, I'm gonna withdraw from the relationship, or we'll have contention a lot.
Yes.
Contention between spouses is a sign that one of them has a bully.
Really? I'm thinking of my teenagers too.
Yep.
Because they're dealing with that.
Absolutely. As a mother, what we're going to be teaching is some steps about how to, guard yourself from your own personal bullies. As a mother, I love knowing that my kids know those steps, because we can't be inside of our kids' heads, taking care of this. And I love knowing as a mother, my kids understand these steps, they use them, we talk about them, we teach them, and we do it on a really consistent basis because that bully is never going to go away.
Okay, Kim and Kirk, let's talk about those steps for a minute. You mentioned the hardest part really is recognizing it. That's the first thing you need to do.
If a person will take a pad of paper and write down what is mean that's being said inside their head, each one of those sentences could be called an individual bully. And you'll find out you got 10, 20 different bullies inside your head, but people are not taught what to do, to make this go away. And so number one, to recognize it is the first step, is to recognize I got them.
So identify the words.
Just to admit it, like I got this sentence.
Because to get them out on paper sounds hard. I feel like I might cry to actually take that and put it on paper.
Yes, you may have that happen.
And so to recognize it on paper, then what happens is because you see it on paper, you are aware that it's going on. Then number two is you actually have to come up with a replacement statement. Because if you're going to stand up to a bully, you got to do something to stand up to this bully. So even in the bullies on inside your head, you got to stand up to that statement.
Okay, so for example, you write down something like
I am stupid.
Okay, and then what would you write next to it to replace?
I am amazing and smart.
So you literally...
You're combating the bully.
Yes,
you can
with
literally
two statements.
Combating the bully.
Two good positive
Two of
things.
them.
Yes.
You literally are battling the bully inside your head.
Do you have to believe those statements as you're writing them?
No.
Like, what if
The
I don't
positive
believe
ones?
that yet?
The
Yeah, what if I
positive
don't
ones?
believe that about myself
You don't
yet?
have to believe any of it. All you got to do is start saying it.
Start it.
Start the
Then
process.
When you start saying it, then it builds the strength. You got to say it to build the strength so you can beat the bully.
And at first, you're likely going to not believe it because that other statement is still so true.
Yes.
I'm stupid.
It's right there.
Right. So that positive statement, it takes a while for that statement to get in, and you might laugh. You might think, this is ridiculous. Why am I doing this?
Are you coming back to it?
I would. Yes, you're
Often.
coming back to it. Yes.
But you can't stop something you can't see.
It's a great point.
You can't stop something you can't see, so you write it down so you can see it.
Bombarded on social media. I'm thinking of, especially with my kids, every day with words that may or may not be who they are or represent who they are. They need to, you said say out loud, not just write them.
Say it out loud.
To yourself in the mirror?
If you say it in your head, you gain some strength. But if you say it, when the comment goes off in your head and the bully's attacking you in your head, and nobody's around, say it out loud.
Okay.
There's 10 times as much strength when you say it out loud.
Powerful.
Yes.
So people don't
And it
know
works.
the steps. That's why we want to teach people. We want to teach parents how to teach their kids. And even as young as 5 years old as 95 years old, I've worked and trained on how to beat the bullies in their head. We love teaching at schools. We love teaching online. But we have a program that we'd love to, if people are interested, go here to the Good Things Utah and the link that we have there. And that will help. You can get that program so you can learn this, so you can teach your children, because people need to stop the bullies in their head or they're going to be beat up.
I love that this is something you can do in your own home.
Yes.
It's a series of videos, so you don't have to necessarily go to an event or dedicate
Nope.
a week of your
It's
time,
at
right?
home.
You do it at your own pace.
It's
so
at home.
do be sure and go check everything out. 3 Key Elements. We just love Kirk and Kim, and they can empower you too.
Although these two in an event, I've not seen anybody.
It is true. Like they do put on some great
At
events.
events are incredible.
Thank you for coming, you guys.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, everybody, speaking of self-improvement, how to feel like the best